Hey, welcome everyone. Come on in. Let's get started. Let's get this week off going great. And I hope you had a great weekend. It was a good weekend for me. However, I want you to know that around the area here in Southern Illinois, in the Marion area, Harrisburg, St. Louis, Missouri area, had big old tornadoes set down. I think the one in Missouri that hit parts of St. Louis, I read this morning it was like 21 miles long. That tornado was on the ground for like 21 miles. Did a lot of destruction, a lot of damage. Houses in Marion just blown away. A lot of people just have had everything just destroyed. So we need to be remembering them in our prayers, and how thinking of ways that we can help them as they try to put everything back together. But anyway, that was the weekend. There was also a lot of high school, college graduations this weekend. Johnny Logan had their graduation on Saturday. Steelville High School graduated on Sunday. Trico High School graduated on Friday. So there was a lot going on. Someone said that May is kind of like December. May-cember, I think they call it. You know how it is around the holidays. You got this going on, that going on. Well, there's just a whole bunch of stuff going on in the month of May. But anyway, I'm glad you're here. Glad you've tuned in, and we're getting ready to start get ready for Memorial Day weekend coming up this end of this week, the official start of summer. So are you ready for that? Okay, ready or not, here it comes. And anyway, my name is Wes. I serve as the interim pastor at the First Baptist Church of Cutler. This is Coffee with Wes. And this morning, for the sake of transparency, I have a transparent cup. It's my Dunkin' Donuts cup, and let's see if you can, it's backwards, I think, on the camera, but Dunkin' Donut cup, and it's a good cup. You can see right through it, so you know exactly how much coffee that you have. Anyway, get your cup of coffee. Let's sit down. Let's go ahead and get started. The word this week, or the phrase this week, that we're going to be kind of camping around is that God is more powerful than those who oppose us. And that's a good thought. That's a thing that we need to remember, because a lot of times we think that, man, we're on the losing end. But I've read the last chapter of the book, and we win. And I really get quote unquote tickled by those who come out and talk about Christianity and woe is me, and how much better and how much more devoted people were, and what a better Christian nation we were in the past than we are today, and everything's going downhill, and the whole world's going to Hades in a handbasket. And that's just not the case. That is just not the case. Things are progressing as they progress, as they've always progressed. This is not any different. But in fact, with all the technology, people are making major strides in Christianity is all around the world. And so we just have to be reminded of that. And we need to know that God is more powerful than those who oppose us. That's just the way it is. It may not seem that way at times, but it's true. Okay, once again, we're going to illustrate this point through the life and the encounters of the Old Testament prophet Elisha. And our focus this whole week is going to be on 2 Kings chapter 6. So if you get a chance this week, go ahead and take a look at that chapter, 2 Kings chapter 6, read through it, and it'll help you understand a lot of what we're going to be talking about this week. But I want to focus this morning on verses 8, 9, and 10. And so let me read them for you. So when the king of Aram, that's Syria, when the king of Aram was waging war against Israel, he conferred with his servants, my camp will be at such and such a place, and whatever. But the man of God, Elisha, sent word to the king of Israel, be careful passing by this place, for the Arameans are going down there. Consequently, the king of Israel sent word to place the man of God had told him about, and the man of God repeatedly warned the king, so the king would be on his guard. Okay, so what happens here is a little background here. So Syria, Aram, did war against Israel, and they went back and forth, and the king would plot these ambushes against Israel. But every time Elisha warns the king of Israel what's going to take place. He says, my camp will be at such and such a place. And lo and behold, the Lord has given that word to Elisha, and Elisha has given it to the king, and the king takes the proper measures and allows Israel to avoid danger repeatedly. This is going over and over and over again. And again, the word of God, seeing what's going on, God sees what's going on, gives the word to Elisha, who communicates it to the king. Okay, so the question is, big deal, right? That happened a long time ago. How does that speak to us? How does verses 8, 9, and 10 speak to us? Well, let me share this with you today. So we often feel anxious. We worry about what lies ahead, right? We're uncertain about the opposition or the dangers we may face. The way things are going to play out, how things are going to go. But this passage reminds us that nothing surprises God. God is not surprised by anything. God knows the schemes of the enemy, and God is at work behind the scenes to protect and to guide his people. That's what he was doing through Elisha. So the question I want to ask you this morning in just a few moments, is, are you facing situations, circumstances where it seems as if the enemy is one step ahead? I mean, no matter what fire you're trying to put out, another fire comes up, another situation arises. But remember this, that God is already steps ahead of your adversary. The adversary may be a step ahead of you, but God is steps ahead of the adversary. So we need to trust that God is actively working for your protection, even when you don't see it, even when you don't realize what is happening. The Lord is ahead of you, protecting you, providing the way. So here's the thought that I want you to take with you this morning, or this afternoon, or whenever you're watching all of this. You may not know the enemy's next move. You may not know what's going to happen next, but God does. And God's already preparing for you a way of escape, because God's got your back. All right, folks, you have a great Monday. Hope it gets off to a great start. We've got those storms on Friday. Weather's talking about storms today and tomorrow. Glory, I'll be ready when the storms are over and the sun comes out. But then I'll have to cut my grass, and I don't look forward to that either. So anyway, some people are just never happy. Bye now. See you again real soon. Have a great Monday, y'all. Take care.